God doesn't want us just to even face evil, but He wants us to do something about it. He wants us to actually hate it. And you might find that really surprising. I mean, as Christians, we're kind of gun shy at the idea of hating something. But the Bible's really clear that we are supposed to hate evil. The Bible says in Psalm 97:10, "Let those who love the Lord hate evil." How can you actually begin to hate evil? What are some practical ways? Because that seems like that's such an odd thing that we're supposed to do. So let me just tell you a couple things that I've been learning. First of all, be aware of evil when it's disguised as humor. This is a really subtle one. This is kind of like the slippery slope, but if you start laughing at evil, you'll be amazed at how quickly you start to accept it. It's just one of those well-known facts that anything that we laugh at, we start to accept it. And that's the best way to actually get people in a society to change their mind about something, is to get them to laugh at it. Another way to learn to hate evil is to refuse to compromise with it. We are so fearful of being labeled intolerant that we have started calling what is evil good and what is good evil. And if you do that long enough, you lose your ability to distinguish the difference between the two, and you're no longer able to know what it is we're supposed to despise and what it is we're supposed to hate and what is really something we're supposed to love. Well, a third way to deal with evil, to learn how to begin to hate it, is to refuse to participate in it. Remember, I've kind of set up this slippery slope of it starts with laughing at evil, and then if you're not careful, you start to compromise with it. And then once you've started to compromise and you're no longer sure what's good and evil, it's really not very far to actually begin to participate in it. I mean, I saw this really up close and personal in Rwanda. In Rwanda, the two main ethnic groups, one of them began to call the other group a cockroach. And I hear that and you go, oh, come on, what a silly name. Call somebody a cockroach. But it became the label for a whole group of people. And so it started as a joke. People would laugh about that, oh, the cockroaches, and it sounded like something that was funny. But over a period of time, over years, those people that were the cockroaches suddenly began to have to identify themselves by what their ethnic group was. And there were compromises made in the society of now cockroaches can't get into the right schools, they can't get the right jobs, you better be careful not to marry that kind of a person. And so people that were just started as sort of a joke began to be something that the society started compromising and treating people with no dignity. Well, over a period of years, it sank even further to the place where people would say, well, what do you do with a cockroach? Well, you squish it. I mean, you get rid of a cockroach. That's what you do with a cockroach. And so over a period of time, what began as a silly name and then began to compromise with people's dignity and their worth and their value, then it became to, well, the best thing to do with them is kill them. That's what you do with a cockroach. And that's exactly what happened. And so in this entire nation, over 100 days, 1 million people labeled as cockroaches were slaughtered. They were raped. They were tortured. Unbelievable cruelty done to this ethnic group in about 100 days. All because there was this slope, this way of, instead of hating evil, they had begun to accept it. So in your life, where is it that as you look at yourself, where is it that you have not hated evil, but you're actually accepting it? Where is it that you've begun to take some steps of compromising? You're tolerating something that 10 years ago you would have said, there's absolutely no way in the world that as a follower of Jesus Christ I can tolerate that. And where are you just steps away from actually participating in evil, something that you said I would never do, but you've let yourself gradually slide? Spend some time really looking, asking God to show you maybe subtle and not so subtle ways that you are accepting evil in your life.